Suicide is a difficult subject, often avoided, yet it's a stark reality claiming many lives each year. Suicide is a complex issue with multifaceted roots. It's not simply a matter of individual weakness. Each case is unique, shaped by personal experiences and mental health struggles. Mental health challenges can affect anyone, regardless of background. Behind every statistic is a human being with their own story. We need to shift our focus from judgment to understanding and support. Suicide is a global public health crisis. India faces a disproportionately high number of suicide deaths. In 2010 alone, nearly 187,000 people in India died by suicide. Suicide is the second most common cause of unnatural death in India. More lives are lost to suicide than to some of the most feared diseases. India has one of the highest standardized suicide rates in the world. These figures represent real lives lost and families shattered. India is a society in transition, grappling with modernization and cultural shifts. Traditional support systems are eroding and economic disparities are widening. The pressure to succeed is immense, particularly for young people. Many young people feel isolated and ill-equipped to cope with modern life's challenges. Rapid economic growth in India has come at a cost. The relentless pursuit of progress has overshadowed mental well-being. The pressure to achieve and fear of failure can lead to despair. The lack of adequate mental health support in India is a crucial issue. Mental health issues are stigmatized and misunderstood. The severe shortage of trained mental health professionals creates a significant barrier to care. The factors contributing to suicide in India are complex and interconnected. Societal pressures and lack of mental health support can lead to despair. Untreated mental illness and overwhelming life stresses create a dangerous spiral. Suicide is preventable, and each of us has a role to play. Recognizing the warning signs is crucial. Learning to recognize these signs is a shared responsibility. Changes in mood and behavior can be red flags. Verbalizing suicidal thoughts should always be taken seriously. Individuals struggling with suicidal thoughts may be desperate for help. Recognizing the warning signs is only the first step. Offer your presence, listen without judgment, and show that their life has value. Approach the conversation with empathy and compassion. Active listening is a powerful tool. Validate their feelings and avoid offering platitudes. Simple expressions of support can make a world of difference. While offering emotional support is crucial, professional help is essential. If someone is in immediate danger, seek professional help immediately. Encourage them to seek help from a mental health professional. Offer to help them find a therapist or schedule an appointment. Your support in navigating the mental health system can be invaluable. Reach out to others for additional support and assistance. Section 1. Breaking the silence. A call for policy change. The fight against suicide in India requires a multi-pronged approach that goes beyond individual acts of kindness and support. While personal connections and community resources are invaluable, they cannot fully address the systemic issues that contribute to the high rates of suicide in the country. To truly make a difference, we need a fundamental shift in the way we, as a society, perceive and address mental health. This shift requires a concerted effort from policymakers, healthcare providers, and the community at large. One of the most crucial steps in this direction is the enactment of a comprehensive national mental health policy. While India has made some strides in recent years with the introduction of the Mental Health Care Bill, there is still a long way to go in terms of allocating adequate resources, expanding access to care, and destigmatizing mental illness. A robust mental health policy should prioritize prevention, early intervention, and the provision of affordable and accessible mental health services for all, regardless of their socio-economic background or geographic location. Decriminalizing suicide is another crucial step towards creating a more compassionate and supportive environment for those struggling with suicidal thoughts. Currently, attempting suicide is a criminal offense in India, punishable by law. This archaic law only serves to further stigmatize mental illness and deter individuals from seeking help for fear of legal repercussions. Decriminalizing suicide would remove this barrier to care and allow individuals to seek help without the fear of prosecution. Policy changes alone, however, are not enough. We need a fundamental shift in our societal attitudes towards mental health. This requires a sustained effort to raise awareness, challenge misconceptions, and create a culture of empathy and understanding. Schools, universities, workplaces, and community organizations all have a role to play in promoting mental health literacy and creating supportive environments where individuals feel comfortable seeking help without fear of judgment or discrimination. Building bridges to hope. Accessible mental health services for all. Addressing the shortage of trained mental health professionals is paramount in the fight against suicide. India faces a severe deficit of psychiatrists, psychologists, counselors, and other mental health workers, particularly in rural areas and smaller towns. This lack of accessible and affordable mental health services creates a significant barrier to care, leaving individuals with limited options when they need help the most. The government must prioritize the training and recruitment of mental health professionals, particularly in underserved areas. This includes investing in medical education and training programs, offering financial incentives to encourage professionals to work in rural and remote areas, and exploring innovative models of care delivery, such as telepsychiatry and mobile mental health units, to reach those in need. Integrating mental health services into primary healthcare settings is another crucial step towards expanding access to care. Primary care physicians are often the first point of contact for individuals experiencing mental health issues. By equipping them with the knowledge and skills to identify, assess, and manage common mental health conditions, we can ensure that individuals receive timely and appropriate care, potentially preventing escalation to more severe conditions. Beyond expanding the workforce and integrating mental health services into primary care, it's essential to address the affordability of mental health care. Currently, mental health care in India is largely financed through out-of-pocket payments, making it inaccessible for a significant portion of the population, particularly those from lower socio-economic backgrounds. The government should explore mechanisms to subsidize the cost of mental health care, such as including mental health services under existing health insurance schemes or creating dedicated public funding streams for mental health care. Empowering communities. Prevention through education and awareness. While expanding access to mental health care is crucial, prevention is equally important in the fight against suicide. By creating a culture of mental health literacy and equipping individuals with the knowledge and skills to recognize warning signs and seek help early, we can potentially prevent suicidal thoughts from taking root in the first place. Schools and universities play a vital role in this effort. Incorporating mental health education into the curriculum can help destigmatize mental illness, teach students about coping mechanisms, and empower them to seek help for themselves or their peers. Training teachers and school staff to recognize warning signs and respond appropriately can create a safety net of support within educational institutions. Workplace wellness programs can also play a significant role in promoting mental health and preventing suicide. Creating a supportive work environment that values employee well-being, provides access to mental health resources, and encourages open communication about mental health can go a long way in reducing stress and supporting employees who may be struggling. Public awareness campaigns can also contribute to destigmatizing mental illness and promoting help-seeking behaviors. Using traditional and digital media platforms to share accurate information about mental health, challenge misconceptions, and highlight available resources can reach a wide audience and encourage individuals to prioritize their mental well-being. A collective responsibility. Cultivating empathy and support. The fight against suicide is not a battle fought on distant battlefields or in sterile hospital rooms. It's a fight we wage together as individuals, communities, and a nation. It's a fight for understanding, for empathy, and for the fundamental belief that every life has inherent value and deserves to be protected. We cannot afford to remain bystanders in this battle, for silence is complicity and indifference can be deadly. Each of us has a role to play in creating a society where mental well-being is valued, where seeking help is seen as a sign of strength, not weakness, and where individuals struggling with suicidal thoughts feel heard, understood, and supported. We can start by cultivating empathy in our own lives, by challenging our own preconceived notions about mental illness, and by extending a hand of compassion to those who may be struggling silently around us. Simple acts of kindness can make a world of difference. A listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, a heartfelt expression of concern. These seemingly small gestures can be lifelines for someone teetering on the brink of despair. Let us remember that behind the statistics, behind the headlines, and behind the labels are real people with real stories, real pain, and a real need for connection and support. We must move beyond the fear and judgment that often surround mental illness and create a culture of openness and acceptance. Let us talk about mental health with the same ease and compassion with which we discuss physical health. Let us educate ourselves and our children about the signs of mental distress, the importance of seeking help early, and the resources available to those in need. Let us be the generation that breaks the cycle of silence and stigma surrounding mental illness. Choosing life. Building a society that values mental well-being. Imagine a society where mental health is not an afterthought, not a taboo topic whispered about in hushed tones, but an integral part of our collective well-being. Imagine a society where seeking help for mental health challenges is as natural and accepted as seeking help for a physical ailment. Imagine a society where individuals struggling with suicidal thoughts are met not with judgment or fear, but with compassion, understanding, and a resounding message of hope. This is the society we must strive to create. A society that chooses life, that values mental well-being as much as physical health, and that recognizes the interconnectedness of our individual and collective well-being. It's a society where mental health services are accessible and affordable for all, where prevention and early intervention are prioritized, and where individuals feel empowered to seek help without shame or fear. Building this society requires a multi-pronged approach. It requires policy changes that prioritize mental health, allocate adequate resources, and destigmatize mental illness. It requires a shift in our cultural attitudes towards mental health, moving away from judgment and fear towards empathy, understanding, and acceptance. And it requires individual acts of kindness, compassion, and support. Each of us has the power to be an agent of change in this movement. We can start by educating ourselves about mental health, challenging our own biases, and advocating for policies that support mental well-being. We can volunteer our time at mental health organizations, donate to mental health charities, or simply lend a listening ear to someone who may be struggling. The fight against suicide is a fight for life, for hope, and for the fundamental belief that every individual has the right to live a fulfilling and meaningful life. It's a fight we cannot afford to lose. Let us choose life. Let us choose hope. Let us choose to build a society that values mental well-being and offers a lifeline to those in need.